Now recording. Good morning.
Good morning.
And I'm really nervous. I don't get invited to come to speak at Christian schools very often, so I'm really nervous. I get invited to be on panel discussions or debates, but speak at a Bible class, kind of nervous about that. So y'all kind of bear with me. I think one reason that I don't get invited to places like this very often is because I think most people have a misunderstanding about atheists. They think we're evil, mean, devil worshipers, and that we're here to ruin your faith. And that's not the case. I don't have a problem with religious people at all. If you believe in God and the Bible and you think that you're going to go to heaven when you die, hey, that is wonderful for you. I don't have a problem. I just have a problem when people say that that's actually true. I mean, if you could convince me that there was a God who loved me and that there was a heaven to go to when I die, hey, I believe it. I would love to believe that. I just don't see any evidence for it. As a matter of fact, most religious people that I've come in contact with, they're just not very thoughtful. They kind of have these Christian slogans. They have this God said it, I believe it, that settles it mentality. But maybe you guys are different. Coach Hearron spoke very highly of you guys. So maybe you'll have some good reasons for belief and you'll have some good questions and maybe we can discuss those. So again, I am not here to ruin your faith. I was invited by Coach Hearron to come speak, to tell my story, and to open it up for questions and answers. So let me give you the short background. I bet we have more in common than you think. I was brought up in a Christian home. I went to church. I believed in God. When I was in college, I was asked by my roommate in the dorms why God allowed babies to be born with cancer. And I was like, that is a good question. And he wanted to know why God didn't stop it. I had no answer. He said, if God knows there's cancer and doesn't do anything about it, he can't be considered good. If he knows there's cancer and wants to stop it, but he can't, then he's not all powerful. If he knows how to stop it and wants to stop it, but he doesn't know about all the people that have cancer, that he's not omniscient. And it just bothered me because the most innocent people amongst us, the babies born with cancer, I know that if I had the power to stop cancer, I would do so. Then as I studied history, do you know that I realized that a long time ago, people couldn't explain earthquakes. They would have the earth would shake, and they were going, what is the shaking? And they'd go, oh, the gods are angry. Then they would hear the thunder, and they would say, the gods are fighting. And then they would see the rain and say, the goddesses are crying. Now we know through science, we can explain earthquakes through plate tectonics and study of seismology. We understand how thunder works, and we understand how rain works, so we can attribute that to science and not to God. So the more we learn about science, the less need we have for a God. And so they had this God of the gaps mentality. Then I was challenged about the Bible, to study the Bible and actually read it, and I read it all the way through. And I realized there were so many contradictions. This was all a farce. Some of the questions that I asked my Sunday school teachers and pastors, they just said, don't have doubts, don't have questions, just believe. And I realized it's because they didn't have an answer either. So I walked away and I realized that the evidence was much better, way better for atheism. And that God is just something that people made up to not feel lonely in this crazy world. And I know this world is crazy. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you have some good questions and objections, and we can discuss those, so I'm open to it. All right, who would like to go first? What questions or comments do you have for me? Yes, ma'am. You step to the camera there.
Okay, so
Hang on, scoot just a little bit closer. Okay, good. What's your name, ma'am?
Lizzie,
Lizzie, nice to meet you. What question or comment do you have for me?
where exactly in the Bible did you find contradictions?
Great question. If you look at in Exodus chapter 11, I believe it is,
Okay.
Scripture says that God spoke with Moses face to face as a friend speaketh with another friend. Then if you look over in 1 John, and I believe it's 1 John 4, it says, no man hath seen God at any time. So you have no man hath seen God at any time, and Moses spoke with God face to face. Contradiction.
Okay. All right.
And that's just one.
Okay. Do you have any others? that you
Sure.
can think of?
If you go in the Gospels, and if you look at Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, in Matthew, it records an earthquake supposedly at the resurrection. None of the other Gospels record the earthquake. In one Gospel, there's one angel supposedly at the tomb. In another, there's two angels at the tomb. If you go to another Gospel, there are 3 women that went to the tomb first. If you go to another Gospel, John, there's more than 3 women. I mean, so was it 2 angels or 1 angel? Depends on which Gospel you read. Was it 3 women or more than 3 women? Depends on which Gospel you read. Was there 1 angel or depends which Gospel you read? So they can't even get their story straight on some of that. So that seems to be evidence of not necessarily contradiction in the sense that why can't they get their story straight when it comes to that?
Okay. I have another question for you.
Okay.
So, where do you think all the our morals come from if there is no God that knows right and wrong? So you know how we're sinful people, we always have wrong things that we do. Where do you think all our things that we need to live up to come from?
Do you believe that I, as an atheist, can do good things?
Yes.
Do you think I can help an old lady across the road?
Yes.
Do you think I can give money to charity?
Yes.
Do you think I can treat my neighbor with respect?
Yes.
Can you do those things too?
Yes.
Can you name one thing that I'm assuming you're a believer, can you name one thing that you can do as a believer that I can't do that's good as an atheist?
There's nothing.
Then why do I need God?
Because I don't know.
Okay, thank you for your honesty. All right, let's have someone else. Who would like to have an objection or a question? Yes, ma'am. Would you step to the camera here? And you are?
Emma.
Emma. Nice to meet you. What question or comment do you have for me?
I have a comment. So, you thoroughly read the Bible
Yes.
all the way through?
Yes.
Studied it?
Yes.
Okay. So, you know how sin came into the world in the Bible. You know how it says sin came into the world and how Jesus died to liberate that. Okay. So, did you thoroughly read the Bible after you started doubting your faith or beforehand? You knew.
After.
Okay.
Because I had a friend who asked me, have you read the Bible all the way through? He was an unbeliever, and I was thinking, if this book really is from God, maybe I ought to read it. So I was challenged to read it all the way through.
Okay. I was just asking because earlier you said that you had no explanation how babies were born with cancer. But in the Bible, it reasons that sin corrupted the world and that God, being powerful, he didn't force us to pick. And if he did, then it would be not all gracious and loving. Does that make sense in a way?
So let me make sure I understand you. The reasons why babies are born with cancer is because they sin?
Well, it's because man fell short. Because Adam, in the Bible, Adam sinned by eating the apple, okay? And God put a barrier between man because he falls short. And God knew that man would fall short, so he later sent his son, Jesus, to die on the cross so everyone could go to heaven. Well, man fell short, so sin corrupted the world.
Yeah, I get that. I know that's what it says, but my question is, babies didn't sin, did they?
Well, the sin of man corrupted the world, and man has to do with them having their kids and offsprings.
So the babies get punished for the sins of the man?
Yes.
Does that seem fair?
Well, it's a good judgment comment back.
Do you know of another crime? Or do you know of any crime where we punish the children for the crime of the adults? Do we have anything like that?
Abortion. Abortion.
Yeah. Abortion punishes the child.
Yeah, for the crime of the adult, whatever they did. They messed up or just
Don't you think that's wrong?
I do think abortion's wrong.
Okay. Me too, up to a certain point. But
What's your certain point?
well, I'm not convinced necessarily that the unborn is it's a human being. There's no doubt, but I think life begins at birth.
So you just said, can you re-say that statement, please?
Yeah, life begins at birth. Let's go back to your Adam story.
Oh, okay.
Adam was not a living being until supposedly God breathed life into him.
Yes.
Okay. So that means if we take your scripture, then a person is not a human being until they take their breath.
Okay. So would you say like if a dog had puppies in their stomach, it wasn't a puppy? Yeah.
Of course.
But what was it? What is it then?
It's a puppy. It's a dog.
Okay, so you would say that in the stomach, it's a puppy.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think that puppy has a heart yet?
I'm sure it does.
Okay. And if that puppy is living, it has a heartbeat, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So if that puppy is having a heartbeat, then it's living. Because
Okay.
so going back to human, if someone is dead, they don't have a heartbeat.
Okay.
So if someone's alive, they have a heartbeat. So
But
in
that's
a
not
womb,
what your religious text says. Your religious text says that Adam became a living soul when he had...
but is that every person? That's one person.
No, I'm going by what your religious text says.
Okay.
Your religious text says that Adam was a living soul, supposedly, when he breathed his first breath. So if it was Adam became a living soul when he had a heartbeat, then you might have a different argument.
Okay. But God breathed into him, and that was the first man. What about all
If God exists,
Yes.
that's what happens, yes.
Yes. So what happened? What do you think happened to his children, Adam's children? If there wasn't Adam,
What do I think happened to Adam's children if what?
if Adam's was real, like, where do you think? Like, do you think Adam's children were breathed into like Adam?
Well, I don't believe the Bible, so
Yeah.
according to that, I mean, evolution seems to be a lot more reasonable than, being formed out of dirt,
Okay.
So, anyway,
Okay.
but let's just say you're right.
I have a statement about
Okay.
evolution. Okay.
Okay?
So, do you believe we all evolved from a monkey, or like we humans evolved from? What's your belief on that? Like, what's your statement?
Well, every one of you believe in evolution, and I can prove it.
Okay.
Okay? All evolution means is simple change over time. That's all that means. Okay? Were you once a baby?
Yes.
And then you went to a toddler? And
Yes.
And then you were a teenager?
Mhm.
You evolved. You changed over time.
Well, okay.
Didn't you? Change over time. That's all that means.
Yes, but how do you think humans came to be? Where'd they come? How did they evolve?
How did they evolve? You mean where did they come from?
Yeah, what do you think of
Well,
that?
see, here's what's great about science. Science, and when it comes to that question, the origin of life, we don't know. Scientists are still working on that. And the great thing about science is that the not knowing drives science. What theists do is they claim to know that God created, but it's really a God of the gaps. I don't know, therefore God did it. So that's kind of a science stopper. Whereas science loves the unknown because it compounds our curiosity. We want to search, we want to find for it.
Okay.
But I haven't met too many theists that say they don't know.
Okay.
So I'm being honest.
So evolution, going back to that, I just want to hear, where do you think humans go? Do you think we developed from monkeys? Do you think we just...
No, that's a misnomer.
Okay.
Evolutionists do not believe that humans came from monkeys. Humans came from an ape-like ancestor that branched off into the chimps and the gorillas and stuff we have, and then we have another.
Okay.
That's
So-
the view there. And so we've got some evidence for this, the Neanderthal
Okay.
and stuff like that.
So,
And we're continuing to evolve.
and you're saying we're continuing to evolve. So
Yep.
when it, let's say a few years, in the next few years, humans are going to evolve into something else. Because if you say humans
Well, it's really,
keep
really slow,
evolving,
so we probably won't be here if there's a big jump in evolution.
Okay.
It's so small we just cannot, we probably won't see it in our lifetime. See, that's the issue with science. Science doesn't give us the immediate gratification that religion does. We have to wait and time. Well, religion gives us immediate gratification. Hey, we know if you die, you're going to go to heaven. Science doesn't work like that. Science is just based on truth. It's not always nice, but it's just based on truth. All right, let me have someone else. Thank you for your comments, questions. Someone else would like to approach. And Coach Hearron spoke highly of him. Yes, sir.
This is more about their atheist character, anything. This is good.
Yes, sir. And your name is
Elijah.
Elijah. What question or comment do you have for me, Elijah?
Can you redefine for me your evolution? Can you define that?
Evolution? Yeah, simple change over time.
How do you believe that change comes about? Because I have a feeling you're kind of conflating evolution with some other terms. But
Okay, simple change over time in the illustration that I used from an infant to a toddler to a teenager to a young adult.
so evolution is a lot different from ontogeny, which is what you're describing. Ontogeny is growth from toddler or from infant, toddler, adolescent, teenage to adult. That's just ontogeny. Every organism goes through that at stages in their life, as far as I'm aware anyway. Maybe bacteria don't really grow like that, but you know what I mean. So evolution is more like changes in let's say you're different from your parents, right?
Correct.
Everyone here is a little bit different from their parents, and everyone's parents are a little bit different from your grandparents, and so on and so forth. That's more like what evolution is, just very gradual, very slight differences that pop up over time. That's kind of snowball effect. It's not
I agree with that.
incredibly
that's,
rapid.
yeah, I agree with that. That's why I said simple change over time. And you're basically saying the same thing I said, you're just saying it a different way.
Right, but I feel like your examples. I forgot what I was saying.
You said, I feel like my example's what?
I lost my train of thought, I'm sorry. But another thing that you were talking with Emma about, I heard you say something about origin of life when she brought up evolution?
Yes, because she asked about where does life come from, and that's one of those that science hasn't, we don't know the answer to that yet. We've got some good ideas, but we haven't had our origin of life Darwin yet. I mean, Darwin has been our hero for evolution through natural selection, but we haven't had our biological origin of life, Darwin.
So you believe in abiogenesis?
Yes.
Okay.
We know that's true because we're here. I mean, we know it happened. We're here.
Yeah.
If it didn't happen, we wouldn't be here. So somewhere, life had to have started.
Yeah, I agree. I just
Okay.
wanted to make sure that everybody here knows that
Please define for everybody abiogenesis.
abiogenesis is, well, exactly what it sounds like. Genesis means first, bio means life, a before anything, like atheist means it's the absence of, not like a direct opposite, it's absence. So abiogenesis is life beginning without life, it's life coming
Life from non-life, yes. That's the easiest.
Yeah.
Life from non-life.
I just wanted to make sure, really, that everybody here knows that abiogenesis is not the same as evolution. Evolution is, as what do I call
I agree
your
with you
atheist
100%.
character?
I agree with you 100%.
What is your atheist character called?
Atheist co-chair.
Atheist co-chair? Okay. I just wanted to make
You can just call me professor.
Okay. Professor Atheist co-chair.
That'll work.
But I just wanted to make sure, like, I'm not really disagreeing with you.
Okay.
I'm just trying to, like,
You're just wanting to clarify the terms to make sure we're on the
exactly,
same
to make
page.
sure everybody knows, because not a lot of people are raising their hands, because I feel like not a lot of people are too familiar with this side of the story.
Sure.
Due to our echo chamber that we live in.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure that evolution is, as atheist co-chair said, the change from organisms.
But I would also say the ontogeny, is that what the word you used?
Correct.
About the simple change over time can be extrapolated through macroevolution to all the species. So that's the ultimate view of a evolutionary biologist. So not only simple change, but there's massive changes in species over time, given enough time.
Yeah, they're like random mutation and
Yes,
stuff like that.
yes.
Yeah. But
Okay, thank you, sir. Got time for a couple more? Come on. Okay, yes, ma'am. Didn't you just go? Oh, you have a twin sister. Okay. What is your name?
Anna,
Anna, nice to meet you. What question or comment do you have for me?
how do you believe the Earth came to be?
Well, the Big Bang. The Big Bang is when the universe came about. That's when we say Big Bang, we just mean the beginning of the universe. Now, what caused the Big Bang is what cosmologists are still working on. That's another one of those we don't know. There's some models that we have, and I don't have time to go into them because they get kind of technical, but one is called the inflationary model. There's one that's called the cosmic rebound theory, that some people think that the universe is expanding and collapsing almost like a bouncing ball. And right now, the science shows that the universe is expanding, and the cosmic rebound theory would show that we are in the phase where it's on a rebound. And over millions and billions of years, it'll collapse back on itself, and it'll just continue. So think of like a bouncing ball that does that. But we don't know for sure. We're still working on that. What Christians do is say they know. They say God created. But in reality, they don't know. They just believe. That's my point. They don't know. They just believe. May I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you know that God exists, or do you just believe that God exists?
I think we have evidence in the world around us that God exists.
So do you know or do you believe?
I would say it's more belief than known.
Okay.
But do you have belief that?
Well, let me follow up.
Okay.
That's
Yes, sir.
thank you. So you said it's more belief than no. So you could be wrong.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for your honesty. Now you're going to ask me.
Yes. So do you have an opinion that like the Big Bang everything came from nothing, or is like some like molecules like floating around or atoms?
Well, that's again. That's something we're still working on. We don't know. We do know that the Big Bang happened because we're here. The universe, that's the beginning of the universe, and science shows that. But it doesn't mean God caused it.
So
Okay?
is your theory about the Big Bang belief or known?
No. The Big Bang happened. And by Big Bang, I mean the beginning of the universe. What I'm saying is we don't know what caused the Big Bang to happen.
Couldn't you argue that the universe has always just been here?
Yeah, I could argue that. I'm not sure that's a legitimate option, but that's possible as well.
Okay. I have.
If it's always been here, then it wouldn't need a beginning, and it wouldn't need a cause. Go ahead.
So what do you think is going to happen when you die?
Oh, great question. Okay, like I said in my opening statement, I would love it if there's a heaven to go to when I die. But it's like we're like a computer, a highly advanced computer. When I die, it's like I'm off. I'm just dead. That's it. I get one life. And I want to try to make the best of it as I can. When I turn it off, it's off. The hardware doesn't go to computer heaven. Okay, it's just off. So when we die, we're off. I get one life, and I got to make the best of it. And I consider myself, I'm a good citizen. I vote. I care about politics. I want to feed the poor. I love my wife. I love my children. I mean, I don't need God to do those things. God seems to be a crutch for Christians, and so they're like, oh gosh, it's terrible. So we're going to invent this place to go when we die, and then it's just great, and everybody's going to go there, and all dogs go to heaven. And look, that's great. If you believe that, I just don't see any evidence for it.
Do you have a sense of like wonder of what's gonna like the darkness? Like when you die, are you kind of sad that happens? You have a sense of wonder.
I mean, like I said before, I would love it if there's an afterlife, but something is true or false whether or not we want it to be true or false. Would you agree with that? Just because you want something doesn't necessarily mean that thing is either true or false, right? So, yeah, that would be cool, but an eternal nap, I can live with that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Am I good?
And yes, ma'am, what is your name?
Jenna.
Jenna. Nice
Like
to meet you. What question or comment do you have for me? Go ahead.
Like you were saying earlier, you were like, and I would love it if I could go to heaven, and I would love it if I could. But you were like, I'm a good citizen. I love my family. But God is all love, and nothing comes, like you can't have ultimate love if you don't believe in God. Because God is all loving, and He created us with love. And how do you consider what love is if you don't know God?
Okay, I think I hear you saying this. Correct me if I'm wrong. We'll see if I understand your view. I can't be loving unless I know God.
You can't have true love, and you can't truly love if you don't understand that God truly loves us, because He is all loving and He created love.
Are you saying I don't love my wife?
I'm not saying you don't love your wife. I'm saying you might not understand the legitimate, like the full meaning of love, because God is all loving.
So I have to believe in God in order to love my wife and to love my children. Is that what I hear you saying? Otherwise, you're telling me that I don't love my children.
I'm saying that you do love your children, but it might not be your.
Okay, see, and I think this is where we are in common. The thing that most people are having trouble, especially atheists, is to think that you have to have God to do good things. You have to believe in God to love someone, and that's not true. I can love my wife. I can love my children. You can love your mom and dad with a belief in God. You just don't need it. It's not necessary. And I think I've demonstrated that today. And so I haven't found anything that a Christian can do that's good that I as an atheist can't do as well. Help your neighbor, I can do that. Love your parents, I can do that. So that's my whole point. It's just an unnecessary step.
So if you don't believe there's a heaven or a hell, then why do you do good if you don't think that there is an afterlife?
Because I do it for the sake of doing it, not to get a reward. See, you guys do it because some higher power told you that if you don't do good work, you're going to burn in hell forever. That's a threat. That's not loving. Believe in me or burn in hell. How is that loving? I would never, ever hold my child in the fire So I'm way more loving than God if this God that you're talking about actually
But he gives
exists.
us free will to make that choice if you choose to believe him or not. And he gives us a book that explains.
Yeah, I get that, but I think it's emotional blackmail. And what I mean by that is, here's your choices. Believe in me, burn in hell. I would never give somebody that choice. That seems like just being a big bully. If I don't get my way, then I'm going to burn you. Am I making some sense with that?
I see what you're saying.
Okay. I know that was hard. I was kind of a little rough on you, but I'm kind of passionate about that. Because were you born in a Christian home? Were you raised in a Christian home? So you probably have the belief of your parents.
Similar, yeah.
Okay. Well, I can relate. I was born in a Christian home too. And then I got outside of my bubble and I began to think critically. And I wish Christianity was true. It's just not. Atheism offers truth. It doesn't offer lies. It offers truth. And unfortunately, it's not nice. It's not fun to think about. But I mean, like I said, death, I try not to think about it, but it's going to happen. But there's no heaven or hell. It's just not.
When did you form that conclusion that evolutionary is true and Christianity is not true?
When I was in college, but it wasn't like a switch. It was a period of time, and it was not easy. It was not easy because I'd grown up just like you under this. Went to church. I know all the Bible stories. The Bible stories were so nice. You had Noah's Ark. Did you know Noah in Noah's Ark the flood drowned all these babies? There's a lot of babies that would drown. And sometimes in churches they have the Noah's Ark picture with all the little cartoons. They don't have dead babies floating on the mural in the churches, but that's what there was. I just don't see that as loving at all. Thank you. Do we have time for one more? Somebody that hasn't gone? Okay, one more.
I'm Emma again.
Hi, Emma, again. Nice to meet you. What do you got?
Okay, so earlier when you were talking to Anna, you said that the existence of the world can be uncaused. Do you agree with that statement?
No, I'm saying we don't know what the cause is.
Okay.
I'm just saying it's not. It doesn't mean it's God.
Okay. Could you maybe agree that the world was just there?
That the universe has always been here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But then we don't need a cause.
Okay. So that's uncaused, right? Correct. The world, if the world was already there, it was uncaused. Correct?
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So you agree with that?
Yeah. If the universe has always been here, it did not need a cause. Yes.
Okay. So, as Christians, we argue that God has always been there and has been uncaused. See,
Yeah.
like we can argue the same things. Does that make sense?
Yes, but there's no need for God here in this because that means the universe is eternal and God is eternal. That means you have something that's just as powerful as God. But I thought the Christian God, there's nothing more powerful than Him. If you got the universe that's eternal, then you have something else that matches up with Him.
Okay. So, when you read the Bible, you know how God created everything?
Created everything, yeah.
Okay, so if God created a thing and He has full control, then how can you say that if God was real, He wasn't powerful?
Because according to you guys, is there anything else that matches up with God in His power? Is there anything more powerful than God?
No, God's all powerful.
Okay, so God, one of His qualities is eternal. That's what you guys believe, eternal. So how could an eternal God make something that's also eternal?
Well,
The universe.
how do you know the universe is never going to end?
We know it's going to end. The heat death of the universe. The sun is going to burn out, and we're all going to die.
So you agree it's not eternal?
No, I'm saying it's always been here, but eventually it's going to die out.
So it's not going to be eternal?
In that regard, correct.
Yes. Okay. I'm glad we agree.
Yes.
I also have something to pick your brain with.
Okay, we're almost out of time, so let's stop right there. Okay,
Sounds good.
thank y'all. All right, I'm gonna come back. Okay, Coach Hearron's back.